welcome back to another video. This is my top 4 Burning Abyss profile. So I ended up going 3-1 at locals. I will play this, or technically it was third or tied for second, going with the 3-1 record. I had 2 Sword Soul matchups. I had a Altergeist matchup, and then I don't remember exactly what the third one was, or the fourth one matchup was, but yeah. So yeah, let's get into this. But before we get into the profile, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that comment down below, or put the comments and what you want to see. If you want to see a test stand or a combo tutorial, I'm looking to make a Sky Striker list in the near future. Also a Fluffle list. So if you're excited for those, comment down below. So yeah. So we're gonna start with the non-Burning Abyss monsters. So starting out with 2 Tour Guide. So it's really good. It's not a 3 of, you don't necessarily want to see it, just because like hand traps are really prevalent in this format, but not necessarily like Ash or something like that. It's more like Impermanent Veiler. So it's just like really hard to get hit, and then it's like regardless, I don't think it's a 3 of, just because of the fact it's searchable and you don't need to search it, and it's just like, I think I've only ever needed a third one all at once. That's because I built it off of Dante, but like, what are you gonna do about that? Next one, 3 Fiendish Shrine Warrior. It's really good. It makes it so your Burning Abyss can't be destroyed by battle, or your Fiend monsters can't be destroyed by battle card effect. The battle effect is actually kind of funny sometimes. So yeah, if it's sent to the graveyard anyway, so it's, even if it's detached material or sent to the grave as cost, you can send any Fiend monster from your deck. So that's like another way to get to your Skarm, which allows you to search your Tour Guide, thus making Tour Guide a like non-necessarily to play 3. And then also you can do your full combo. Instead of using Graph, you can use that to send Graph, which is really nice. For the last non-Burning Abyss monster, we play the one Absolute King Backjack. So this one, I've heard a lot of good things about this card, but personally I'm not the biggest fan of it, so I only play 1 of it. It's a really bad brick, and also it doesn't come up. My favorite thing to do is, or what normally ends up happening is I use it, or it's best when it's built off Dante, in my opinion, where you can just straight just chain block with it. That's what the thing is. Just use that as the last chain link, because it doesn't matter, because you're gonna search with everything when it's sent to the grave. The only other times I actually use it is I send it off of Fiend Griefing or something like that when I already have everything else I need and just need the extra setup. Sometimes, or also the last reason I would send it is off of Beatrice if I know it's gonna die and there's nothing else that's necessary. Now for the Burning Abyss, we have the one of the best ones, Graph. Send it from your deck, or send to grave, summon from deck. I wouldn't say this is the best one. The next one that we've actually played is the best one in my opinion, Seer. It summons them back from grave. Normally you add this back always, just so you can keep it in recursion. I feel like the third one does come up sometimes, but you only play 2 of it because you don't necessarily want to see it like Graph, because this doesn't start your combos. It can, but not your best combo. And the main reason I would play a third one ever is if you mill it off Dante, it really hurts. So yeah. This is the most controversial pick. I only played 2 Skarm. The third doesn't come up. Sure, you can have the math and all that and saying, oh, you can mill it off Dante more, but like, no, it really doesn't come up, and it just clogs your hands. Yeah. And then this is pretty standard, the 2 Farfa. Really good. I wish it would just stay banished for the yeah, and just didn't come back. This is one unfortunate thing about the card. It's really nice when it comes up. It's a good stable interruption. For the 1-0s, we play the 1 Libic. Really, really good. It's good in your combo line when going to, I'm forgetting the name, Borosword. Really good. Alec, really good against the pure Tri-Brigade matchup. That's really prevalent at my locals. So it's not the best against the Wheelus build, but against just pure Tri-Brigade, it's really nice when you can just like set up your IP plus Beatrice to spin one of the special summon one and then send Alec or Farfa to banish the other one so they can't use their effects, which is really nice. And then the last one is Barbar, good for time. There is a really, really funny scenario where I had exactly lethal because I burned him with Barbar and then I burned him later for game with another card to play. But the only reason I would have gotten him is because that game was because 1700 attack. It actually comes up more than you would think to send off the Cherby. So the attack bonus or the attack is actually important in my opinion, and I don't think I would cut this. I've been thinking about playing Calcab, just because of back row and all that. You have a relatively easy time playing through back row and all that, but I think it's kind of necessary. But yeah, so that's it for the monsters. Let's see. There's a decent chunk. I think it's like 18. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah. 18 monsters in the main deck. I don't really think there's anything to change, except maybe adding Calcab in there eventually. We only play one spell, that being Called by the Grave. Really, really, really good. Yeah. Every time I see it, it's amazing. Down onto the traps. Solemn Strike, the best one. Yeah, so this is by far the best trap in the game, hands down. Yeah. Probably the next best in my opinion, Torrential Tribute. These are just the bread and butter of this deck. It's really, really good. Dinomescus, it's good. I'm personally not the biggest fan of it. Like, it gives you what you need to be done, but at the same time, it can't target face down cards, which really comes up where it's just like, I wish it could. We play another card later that does able to target face down cards. Next trap is Fiend Griefing. So it's really, really good in the fact that you can shuffle a card back into the graveyard from the grave to the deck. That comes up a decent chunk, but I honestly don't really care about that effect. Like, it's really good and it comes up in most matchups, but the reason we play the card is the fact that you just send anything. It's just another Rhino Warrior. There's sometimes, this is how we send the Batjack at times, because you can use this to send the Rhino Warrior, and then the Rhino Warrior to send whatever you want to send, just so you can decline it. It's really nice. So that's it for the 3-0s. Now for the 2-0s, we have 2 Trap Trick, really, really good. 2 IDP, it hurts seeing this in multiples because it's a hard ones per turn. Same for Trap Trick, because they're both hard ones per turns. None of these up here are hard ones per turns, so that's really nice. This is the one proxy in the deck. I was playing in the tournament triple tax instead of this, but it was pretty bad. But this would be Phoenix Wind Blast. It's currently in the mail. Really, really good. It's one of the cards I've been testing out for this deck, and it's like really, really nice. Yeah. And then probably my least favorite card in the deck, I'm heavily thinking about cutting it, is Karma Cut. Like, it's decent going first, it's horrible going second in my opinion. I know it's a proactive card, but not reactive. But I'm debating on just replacing it with playing either a third Wing Blast and a Calcab, or cutting these for Divine Wrath, if I remember correctly. It's the counter trap that's a monster negate. Because it does the same thing, in my opinion, but better, because it's counter trap and it's a negate rather than just banishing a monster. I just don't like it because it's only a monster, rather than Wind Blast, where you can put a card on top of the deck, but it's any card on your opponent's field. And yeah, and the last card, the one card I think completely needs to be banned in this deck, IO. This card won me games by itself. I know that some cards that's fine in a card, but like say Torrential or something like that. But IO is just like really bad for the game in my opinion. Even though I'm playing it and I love the card, it has to go. So yeah, that's it for the main deck. 40 cards. Like I said, the only things I would change out is probably the Karma Cuts, and yeah. So now for the extra deck. Oh yeah, hold on. So there's 21 traps in the main deck. If I'm counting right. So now for the extra deck. Yep. So Dante, really good bread and butter of the deck. Seer Dante Loop. That's why I like Seer so much, because you can just constantly reoccur them, and it's just really good. Beatrice, I haven't got the ultra rarity of it yet, but I want to get it. This card's really good. People are saying it can go back to 3, and if it does, I will be so happy. Just really good for this deck. I highly doubt it will go back past 1 because of like Lavalval Chain. People are afraid of that. And I think it's perfectly fine at 1, just so it doesn't become a problem. And please just don't hit the card. So I go into the Zeus package. I actually really dislike this card. I'm thinking about removing it in general. I just didn't use it ever. And it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's just not very good. It just allows you to attack into something in it, but you have to detach material. I wish we had a rank 3 that just said this card can't be destroyed by battle. It would have just been perfectly fine. But no, you have to detach for this one. We next have a Downerd Magician. Thank you for the reprint. Really nice. It's just overall a really good card. Allowing you going to Zeus. Zeus is just, this game wins. I think it's perfectly fine though, just because of the fact that a lot of so many decks to go second, while not necessarily just killing your opponent, it just breaks the board, and it's nice, so you can have slower decks like this one to have power. So that's it for Lixies. Yeah, the only thing I'm thinking about taking out is the Fortune Tune. So yeah. Now on to Lynx. The one gravity controller. I love the super rare version of this. I have it, and I'm very happy about that. Thanks, Wiseman. This is really useful. The effect sometimes comes up, and it's kind of funny. Most of the time you summon this when you have the Seer line. I can show that in a later video. Yeah. So can't be used to link until it's turned summoned. People don't know that you can link it off later on, so it's kind of funny. Yeah. That happened to be one of the games. So yeah. Cherubini. I think this is probably my favorite card in the extract. It's really nice. Just having that send anything, but I think it's also good because it's like the attack buff comes in handy like a lot of the time. Yeah, and then yeah, the IP package, IP Phoenix and Unicorn, really good, overperformed. I don't really summon the Phoenix too often, but it does come up a lot. Well, that's contradicting, but you know what I mean. It's just really good. Trizbana, it was really funny because I had a Dante on the field, and this was the scenario where I had the Cherubini. I had sent the Barbar, and then I had Dante, and then I had one other thing. I'm forgetting what it was, but this is boosted to however much attack, and then I had perfect amount of game to burn with the Tristana, which is really, really funny. Because it was like my opponent was like, oh, he was one of those people that just like absolute chads that are just like bantering the entire game. It was really funny, and he's like, oh no, you're stalling for time. But then it was like, no, I burnt him for game, and it was really funny because like I didn't stall, I just like burned, like, so I got exactly full, and I just had to think about it. In other words, I didn't want to give him a turn because I was scared because, I mean, sure, he didn't have much resources left, but still, because he was playing, this was against the Altergeist player. But yeah, it was really fun to play against, and no, I didn't stall. It's a joke. Next we got the OTK Link 4s. Borrelsword, it comes up, it's really, really good. You kind of have to like go out of your way to make it though, just because of the fact that you gotta use Cherubini. This is where Libet comes in, and it's a lot of effort to get into, but this is like the easiest way to get game. Then you have the access code. Rest in peace, the Alternate. It's really nice because your end board normally like your bare bones combo, you have the Unicorn on field at the end of your opponent's turn. Then you have the Seer in hand, say like if you just have your basic combo, so then you can just need to put it in here. Then you can summon your Seer. Seer will be destroyed. Summon back the Dante, and then on your turn, and then you can link off for the access code. You can banish for the effect. Oh yeah, and then also Dante adds back the Seer, which is really nice. So yeah, they're both really, really good, access code and Borreload or Borrelsword. Yeah. So that's it for the links. Nothing I would really change in these. They all come up, and also the Tristana, it's really good against back row. It's funny when your opponent's like, they allow a summon to go through when you have the IP. There's been times where it's like I link for IP, like or I go for on my opponent's turn, and I have a set discard trap like Karma Cut or whatever, and then I have the Seer in hand because I added it back, so I use the Seer effect on my opponent's turn. Just summon back the Dante or whatever, and then just wipe all their back row. It's really nice. I've done that in the when going first against a trap player. It's a really nice card. It comes up and it can be destroyed by card effects because IP, and that's nice because it doesn't destroy, it banishes all their resources and then burns them, which is really nice. And then the last for the extra deck, we have the one and only Purple Dante. Comes up. It's a really, really good card in a sense, but people can deal with it really easily, in all honesty. I do like it though. There's been some times where I've just gotten greedy and just like discarded stuff with it, but like you just gotta make sure you have the resources you have, and it's really funny when you use Dante effects, like Pitch Alec or Farfa, and it's just basically like a free imperm in a separate chain, which is also really funny. But yeah, it's a good card. So that's it for the. Sorry, my camera storage was freaking out. So now onto the side deck. So this is brought to you by Finn. He was the one who originally got me on this deck. He was the one who sent me the cards and everything. Thank you to you. I wouldn't be playing this otherwise. I wouldn't have had the cards because he was the one who sent them to me. And he was the one who gave me this idea for the side deck, just because it covers basically everything you need, and it just works really, really well with this deck. So for combo decks, we have the 3 Nibiru's Mitch Max Rarities because I'm broke. Really nice. You might think that it comes up, or like sometimes it just comes up where you can't sell anything, but if your opponent doesn't clear it, it's kind of nice because it's like your cards will blow up if you have this on your field, but it's nice because if like your opponent isn't clearing it, they can't clear it, and it's like you're in a good state where you can just do Debris Beatdown, which actually comes up more than you'd think. Next we have 3 Dark Ruler No More. Really nice. I like it just because you can go Dark Ruler, special. Like if your opponent has any monsters in defense position, you can just go like normal, special, just like whatever you have in your hand. Most of the time this doesn't come up, but you can overload for Dante, attack into whatever. I mean, sure, only has 1,000 attack, but you might take damage. Downard into format Zeus. Normally that doesn't happen, so that's the one unfortunate thing. The reason why you do play Downard though, because well, besides that reason, is you can revive the Dante off of Seer, so it has no mats, and then you can just go into Downard into Zeus that way. So yeah, Dark Ruler overall just a good card. The next is Gameciel. I would play playing Godarla. I haven't ordered the card instead of the new one, so I do need to get my hands on a playset of Godarlas, but Gameciel is a good replacement. It's the lowest attack IG though. This deck has a relatively hard time beating out Towers cards, in my opinion at least. Your best way is with cards like IDP, and Zeus, but yeah. Next, we have back removal in the form of Twin Twisters. It's really good. There's times where you combo Twin Twisters with cards like Farfa and Alec again. This is also good with Calcap, because Calcap can bounce cards as well, which is really nice. So yeah. Then the last card in the side deck would be 3 Solemn Judgment. It is a trap deck. You gotta play it. Just really good, just to stop the back removal and other stuff. So that's it for this deck profile. I hope you enjoy it. Comment down below if you want to see the test stands and combo video and any interactions. And yeah, hopefully we can get my striker list and Fluffle list out relatively soon. And I'm also testing Striker Crusadia, which is cool. If you're a fan of my old content with Crusadia, I'll be doing an update on that if you guys want anytime soon. So yeah, have a great day, and signing off. Bye.